Welcome inside our NBA studio with Jalen, Chauncey, and Coach Fizz. I'm Michelle. Toronto playing in desperation mode, maybe trying to extend this thing one more game, down 12 right now at the half. Coach, what did you see?
I saw T. Lue not flinching. He's going to keep that floor spaced. You saw a couple of situations there where they took some tough twos, Toronto did, and it led to some big threes and runouts for Cleveland. And I think T. Lue's making the right decision.
And I said this the other day while we talked about Cleveland at a halftime. The first stat that I look at with these Cavs are their assists. 18 assists tonight on 24 field goals, really moving the basketball. Yes, they got a couple ISO players that can get it done, but they're at their best when they're shooting a three ball. Kyle Korver playing extremely well. Playing extremely well in this series right now. 7 for 14 in the first 3 games from the three. 4 for 6 tonight. And guess what? They're looking for him. They want him to be confident going forward. And how about this? Out of the 9 players that are currently on the roster that are in the rotation, there's only one guy that can't shoot threes.
Tristan Thompson. I just wrote his name down.
And that's Tris. Out of the 9 guys, it's only one. So now you can just plug guys, whoever's playing well, you can just plug them in any position. And even with Kyle Korver, they bring him over at the trade. I knew it was going to be a home run trade, right? His professionalism. He's not a lockdown defender, but he's not a bad defender. Very good team defender. Sure. Understands concepts and principles.
Because the first couple games out there,
they
like,
did.
what is this?
Because he wasn't shooting it well, but it's something to be said about, playing with new guys where you're going to be catching the ball at what spots on the floor. Now he's comfortable and makes his team a lot more depth.
Unfortunately for the league, the Cavs are like Noah's Ark. They have 2 of everything.
Wow.
And unfortunately for the Toronto Raptors, they get a chance to face them in the second round. Because whether this was the Wizards or Boston, they would be suffering a similar fate, but they probably wouldn't be getting swept. With that being said, it's all about LeBron James. He hasn't been this effective, this efficient, this dominant in the playoffs in his entire career. And that's something to be said for a guy that's already been a 4-time MVP, a 3-time champion, that he looks hungrier than everybody that he's going against. And that's dangerous.
Can we just talk a little bit about Kyle Lowry's replacement today? Corey Joseph?
Yeah, I think any of us would, if you said who's the best backup point guard in the league, Corey Joseph would be at the top of that list, and a guy that can step into the starting role and do exactly what he's doing. He's a world champion. He knows what this is about, and he's going to compete, and you can see his character right now in this game.
And that's exactly where I was going. He's a champion, right? No moment's going to be too big for Corey Joseph. Very scrappy. Brings out the best in the guy that he's playing against, and, kudos to them, but it's not going to be enough.
Unlike Corey Joseph, I'm not an NBA champion, but I do know what this is about. Wallace, unfortunately, for the Toronto Raptors.
Got another half. There's another half.
Another half of LeBron. Is LeBron James playing?
That's a good point. Serge Ibaka got 13 points in the first.
Serge, that's not going to be enough, buddy.
Anything can happen.
50% from the floor. Minus 21.
I'd like to see Serge in the paint, though.